expensive. Hi guys, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. If it's your first time or stopping by, do not touch that. My name is Egbenji and you're welcome to the House of Lifestyle, Vlog, Beauty and the recent news in town. So guys, if you have been following me, you know that I studied in Sweden and before moving to Paris. So today I'll be telling you the cost of living in Paris. A lot of people say that Paris is expensive. They think about the brands, the hotel, the food. You know, Paris has one of the best food and restaurants in Europe. So guys, today I'll be telling you all my little tips on how to live low and less expensive, and I'll also be telling you the cost of living in Paris versus the cost of living in Sweden. So sit back, relax as I fill you with the gist. So first on my list will be housing. OMG. Guys, we all know looking for a house in Paris is so difficult and it's expensive. But I think Sweden is more expensive than Paris. But I'll give you my reasons why I say so, because there are some areas in Paris which you can live there and you have less expensive houses, like in the 10, in the 11, in 12, 13, and 18. I live in 77 and houses around that area are a little bit cheaper than when you're living in the 15, 8, 6, 7 and all that. So you can get a one-bedroom apartment for 800 euro. You can get it for 1,000 euro. You can get it for 700 euro. It just depends on the area in which you are living. But I tell you, in Sweden it's more expensive, because when I came as a student, I was living in Gothenburg and I just had a one room with a kitchen. It's not even a studio, what we call a studio. Well, I cannot say it's a one-bedroom apartment because it was just one room, a student room as you know it. It was about 550 euro every month for me to pay. So I think that Paris is less expensive for you to get an apartment than in Sweden. And for you to get an apartment in Sweden, especially if you're getting a second-hand apartment, it's way expensive. The electricity, the internet bills, and the VPN. For those who have English, those who like to watch their favorite programs on English channels, you need to get a VPN, and that will cost you about 5 euro. I think in general, for you to get a house in Paris is difficult, but the rentage is less expensive than that in Sweden, because in Sweden to get a direct contract from a housing agency, it's also very difficult. And when you get a second-hand contracts are way more expensive than you getting it from the direct company. And in France you can also get a second-hand apartment, but it's less expensive than in Sweden. Second will be transportation. It's way easier in Sweden to get access to the city than in Paris. I'll give you my reasons why. Number one, the stations and the areas are not too far. When you take the train, you can get to another area or another station in like 1 or 2 minutes. But in France, for you to get to another train station, another metro station, it will take you like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and some places you can actually take 30 minutes to actually get to the location. So for me, I think that is not accessible at all. But the second thing I'll say that the rate of your Metro card is less cheaper in France than it is in Sweden, because here you can get your Metro card for 75 euro, while in Sweden it's about 95 to 100 euro for you to get your monthly Metro card. That way you save 25 euro difference. So I think it's cheaper, but accessibility it's a big problem. And also, if you're working in a company, you can actually get that card for 75 euro and then submit it to your company. Your company reimburses you half of the payment. But in Sweden, it's not like that. Even if you're working, you have to provide your transportation for yourself. And one thing I'll say in France is, if you get a Navigo, you have to put your picture on it, because sometimes you get the controllers on the road. They'll like to control, to check the tickets. They'll like to check also if your face is on it and if it's the right ticket and all that. But getting a single ticket, I think it's still cheaper in France. You can get a ticket for 8 euro. You can actually get a ticket just for one one train stop in Sweden for like 3 euros. So I think in Sweden, it's more cheaper to get a single ticket if you're going to the next metro stop than in France. Sorry, guys. So the next thing will be grocery shopping, food. I say that the restaurants here are quite cheaper than the restaurants in Sweden. For you to go to a good restaurant in Sweden, I think you have to budget way more than 50 euro. But if you are not an alcoholic like myself, you can get a glass of wine here for 4 euro, which is 40 krona, is equal to 40 krona, and it's way cheaper. And the restaurants also, you can actually get food for 10 euro, for 15 euro, for 20 euro. It depends on what you want. It depends on what you want. For someone like me, a true African girl who needs to always buy groceries, I like to cook myself, I think it's way expensive for me because I eat mostly African food. And yeah, I'll say one thing, that you can get anything you want as an African. If you want ogbono, if you want njangsa, anything that you want. If you want eru, you can get it as a Cameroonian lady that likes her eru. If you want watafu, you can always get it here. But in Sweden, it's a little bit difficult. You can actually get eru, but you hardly get the fresh eru. You can actually get what you want, but not everything. And things like snails and all that, you can't get the food that you want. But if you're someone who lives on Western food that likes tomatoes, zucchinis, cucumbers, you can, it's actually the same price. I don't see any difference if you're going to the grocery to buy. But if you live mostly on African food, we have local markets that you can go to. But in Sweden, we don't have local markets. That's what I want to say. If you're buying fruits, it's most of the times you buy fruits from the grocery. But here, if you actually know the places, you can buy fruits, you can buy fresh fish, you can buy a lot of things from the local markets. It's not same like you buying from the grocery, but you have them fresh and they are of good quality. And I think you can save lesser than in Sweden. And the last thing I would like to talk about, it's about beauty and health care. Beauty and health care, it's very, very advanced in France, and it is less expensive, because I know everyone who is in Europe, you have to sign up for social security and get their numbers and all that. You get a medical card, medical insurance. So in Sweden, as a student, I was opportune to get a medical insurance. But I'll tell you, I used to pay like 40 to 50 euro even with my medical card for me to go for checkup or for me to go see the doctor. But it's not same in France. In France, you can go to the hospital, you can go for medical checkup, you can go to visit the doctor for like 20 euro, 25 euro. And in some cases, if you are not working, you still get the medical card. But in Sweden, if you do not have a social security number, if you do not have an ID card, you cannot get it. For example, if you don't have a social security number, you cannot get this card. But in France, it's not like that. Whether you're working, whether you have your documents, you do not have your documents, you can actually get this medical card. And for those of us who are women, who like to braid, who like to go to the salon, I think it's cheaper in France than in Sweden, because you can actually get your hair braided with 50 euro. 30 euro, 50 euro. But in Sweden, it's very, very difficult to even find someone except you're going to your friend to help you braid your hair. But if you're actually going to a salon, it's way expensive. And I think that also the braiding equipment, if you need to buy the attachment, if you need to buy any other thing, it's way expensive. In France, you can actually get things way cheaper. It just depends on where you go to, where you buy the thing. So I think about healthcare here, it's advanced and it's cheaper. There are times when you go to visit the doctor with your health insurance card, you can actually pay less than nothing to get your drugs. So for me, it's excellent. The healthcare here is excellent. Food is cheap, housing is cheap, and it saves you a lot. It saves you a lot. And for those who are coming like from America, those who are coming from Sweden, they are coming from other parts of Europe, I think the cost of living here is really, really cheaper than people say. If you're coming for visit, like I said, you will not know all these things because you have not lived here. You don't know a lot of places. But those who are living here, they are very, very cheap supermarket, cheap groceries that you can actually buy your things from. That will be less expensive. There are areas where you can rent your house towards those areas, and you see that you pay less. Electricity bill is way less, and internet and your VPN and all that is cheaper. So guys, this is the end of this video. If you like this video, do not forget to give it a thumb up, comment, and let me know what you think about the video. And do not forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll bring you good news again in my next video. Bye bye. I love you all.